What's good, YouTube? This is Keenan Demetrios again, and I'm back with Next Gen Combat Sports TV. And I just did my first video for the channel, but I guess I just want to go ahead and do the second one because it's like, what else am I doing? So in this video, we're going to be talking about the general overview of the Inoue Fulton fight. So, as you all may know or may not know, his name is Naoya. I don't know why everybody say Naoya, Naoya, just whatever they English translate in mind can conjure up. But his name is Naoya. So Naoya. And I know because I studied Japanese. But Naoya Inoue is moving up in weight from 118 bantamweight to super bantamweight, and he's going up against Stephen Fulton, the unified champion at 122. And this is a really, really good fight, especially for the smaller weight divisions. A lot of people don't really watch the smaller weight divisions because they say, oh, they're so small, they're the size of a middle schooler, they can't knock anybody out. And just before I say anything else, 90% of the population that says those things about these smaller weight classes, those guys will beat your ass. Like, literally. They would, like, if you put on boxing gloves and you got into a ring with them, you would not be able to keep up with their hand speed, their footwork, and you just wouldn't have a fun time. But anyway, back to the fight. I like this fight because, first of all, my favorite fighter, or my second favorite fighter, my first favorite fighter is Ryan Garcia, but he's having a hard time, trying to get back right. So we're gonna go ahead and let him, have his sabbatical before he's ready to come back, deal with his issues with Oscar. But I like this fight because there's a lot of people doubting both fighters. There's a lot of people that says Inoue's a hype job. They say who he fought. They say he ain't fought no black fighters. He ain't fought no slick black fighters. And I get all that. And Stephen Fulton, they say, he ain't got no punching power. They say he lost to Brandon Figueroa. Some would say he only has beaten come forward Mexican fighters. I'm kind of in that category just a little bit, But I think Stephen Fulton is a very good fighter. He's very well-rounded. He has impeccable footwork. He has good head movement. He got some of the best ring generalship in the sport. He knows how to control the pace, and he also probably has, if I'm giving you my honest opinion, I think he probably has he has a top 5 jab in the sport in terms of his versatility, its effectiveness, and how he uses it to enforce his style of boxing, which is, he's more of a pure boxer, and that's just off the fact. But he does have an inside game, which he did show against Angelo Leo, and that was when he first won his belt. So, yeah, Stephen Fulton, he is one of the most well-rounded boxers in the sport, and it will be a great fight, and that's why it's such a good fight for him and Naoya Inoue to come up and fight him, because Naoya Inoue, me personally, I got him #1 pound for pound, but pound for pound is very subjective to the individual. It just depends on what you value, what accolades you think are important, what is more of a what have you done for me lately type of ranking style. So, but either way, it's a general consensus among, educated outlets in the sport, educated media outlets, and educated people that cover the sport. He's generally a top 5 consensus fighter in the sport. So in terms of the fight, it is in Tokyo, Japan. Stephen Fulton, he's going across the ocean to defend his belts, which is not really heard of for American fighters. Usually the foreigners have to come over to America, and they're subjected to the judges over here, and that kind of that's a hard thing to deal with. But we don't really think about that because we're kind of, how we are as Americans. We just think about, us and what we got going on, things of that sort. But, yeah, so he's going over into Japan, in the belly of the beast, as some might say, to defend his belts. And, it's really big. It's really big. It's not getting as much attention as it should, because over there they fight at around 8, 9 o'clock. But they're about 12 hours ahead, 13 hours ahead. So over here, the fight is going to be starting at about maybe 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, depending on how quickly the undercards get done. So yeah, I'm really excited for this fight. I also like Inoue. Oh, I didn't really cover his name. He's known for his power, and some of his detractors and some of his haters, as you might call them, they're not really haters. They're just, they're just not fans of him or not fans of his style. But they see him as more of just a puncher, which is wrong. If we being honest, because if he was just a puncher, he would have. I feel like he would have more competitive fights. He wouldn't be as he wouldn't be considered a top fighter in the sport among those that consider him that in the boxing world, because he pretty much has it all. I mean, he's not A++ at every single thing, but he's pretty good at everything. One of his main faults at this point in his career at 122, to me, is his size. I think at 122, he has a decent frame to put on muscle, but at the same time, he's kind of short in stature. He's 5'5", but his athleticism and his explosiveness can make up for that, and also his boxing IQ. A lot of people say like, oh, he beat an old Nonito Donaire, but people forget that Nonito Donaire is fighting for a belt next week on the Terence Crawford Earl Spence Jr. undercard, and they'll give some people should hate on Terence Crawford for it too, but Sean Porter, which is one of the best wins on Terence Crawford and Earl Spence Jr.'s resume, he retired as soon as he got beat by Terence Crawford. But Nonito Donaire, at 40 years old, he's still competing. And some might say that just shows how weak the bantamweight division is, and some might say, well, that just speaks to the longevity and the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Famer that Nonito Donaire is and continues to prove himself to be. But back to Inoue, I think he has very good hand speed. He throws good combinations. He's good at going up, back down, get you to bring your hands up. And then as soon as you bring your hands up, he can find the smallest area where you're not covering your body, and he can pinpoint and hit the spot, and just, he hurts you to the body, but he can hurt you to the head too. If you watch a couple of his other fights, such as Jason Maloney, Nonito Donaire, he caught them with some mean right hands that, well, Donaire, he was able to recuperate a little bit, but that was ultimately the beginning of the end for him. So, he has good footwork, elite footwork. Personally, I think he has better footwork than Fulton. Some might disagree. And the reason I say he has better footwork than Fulton is because I've seen, in a way, have footwork going offensively as well as defensively. A lot of times we might just look at him as, oh, he's just a come for a fighter. And really, it's because a lot of the competition that he's fought, he's so much at a higher level that he really doesn't have to show a lot in the ring. But when he fought Nonito Donaire the first time and he got his order bone cracked, he had to fight a more defensively sound fight. So in that fight, he was more working off the back foot and outboxing Nonito Donaire versus, just sitting in the pocket and exchanging with him, which could have been dangerous, from that point on. So, yeah, in no way he is a premier boxer in the boxing world right now. Hand speed, punch placement. Punch placement is insane. Like I was saying earlier, he can find the smallest opening on your body and land a shot exactly where it needs to be. Land shots to the temple, the jaw, all the dead zones, the points on the people you want to hit to hurt them. He's pretty adept at finding those spots. And also, in no way, he has very underrated defense. And, if you say he has pretty good defense, they always want to say, oh, well, Nonito Donaire cracked his jaw, cracked his open. It's like, okay, Nonito Donaire has one of the best left hooks of this generation. It's fast, it's strong, even at the age he was, which was 36 the first time they fought. It's not that old. But Turbiev is 38, 39, and he's a 3-belt champion in light heavyweight right now, still reigning. So, but it just depends on, whether you hate on Inoue or not. And, yeah, so he does have very underrated defense. He doesn't have the best defense, I'm not gonna lie. He does have head movement. He does slip shots pretty good. He sometimes, I will admit, when he wants to hit you with a hard shot, he opens himself up a little bit. But usually that's when he already have understand that he can take your power, and now he's not as wary as get hit with a shot, and he is willing to take a shot to give a shot. And you know, some might say that's bad defense, but you know, if that's Tank Davis, you know, that's some might say he's let you hit him. But like I said, it just depends on the fighter. Because I used to say about Tank too. I used to say, oh, Tank, he ain't got no defense. He get hit. But the thing about Tanky is it's almost like he lets you hit him so you can get a sense of comfort, so you can get some confidence to begin exchanging, and then that's when he starts to sharpshoot with you and let off some heavy shots. And you know, that's a fight that's some might look down the line and say, oh, there's gonna be a good fight between Tank and Inoue. But you know, that's another video for another day. But yeah, so that fight is gonna be Tuesday, July 25th. I'm gonna be probably at my grandpa's house, and I'm gonna wake up really early with him. He's gonna call out of work for the first couple hours just so we can watch it together, because he's one of his favorite fighters too. So that is yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to. And like I said, I'll probably give an official fight prediction before that point. But until then, this is Next Gen Combat Sports TV. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll catch y'all guys next time.